Good morning, Rad Rod Bikes. It's Odd Job reporting from the back 40. Well, the sun is out today, and it's the first day I've only had to have one long sleeve garment on, albeit flannel and pretty heavy duty for May 1. Happy start of the Bow 18 to all rat rodders out there. I've been busy this morning, the past couple hours, getting started on some things on my build, the Midriff-ter. And when I say mid-drift, I mean mid-drift. So my profile where I used to be able to see my feet easily, I guess they're still there, kind of turned into the sun. But anyway, carrying a little bit of extra baggage here, and it's actually only about a pound a year for the last 20 years. On average. But my purpose is to get back on the mountain bike after a 2-year hiatus. And so what I've got planned is a what we call mid-fat mountain bike these days. And that consists of a tire that would be 2.8 inches wide or wider. So, if you recall, I had built this clunker, 27.5 clunker cat, in which I was able to squeeze in this 27.5 wheel, 35 millimeter wide wheel, and 2.35 tire into this 26-inch frame. That was fun. I enjoyed it. But it's not a disc specific frame. I use this adapter, which is, kind of like the one size fits all. It's usually a one size fits none situation. So it worked all right, but not great. Anyway, so I'm taking parts from the clunker cat, and the wheels will be used in my new build, Midriff-ter. I may even throw the Brooksy on there, just for old time's sake. I might use the 78 Yamaha motocross bars, which are extremely wide, and I've kind of gotten to like that. I will likely use either the core stem, the cool off-road equipment stem from the 80s that I formerly used on a 29er. And I've got a couple parts coming. A frame, Rocky Mountain frame from around 2014, which seems new, but in the mountain bike world, that's about 2 generations ago. And then I've dug into here's where all my cool parts reside, in this old green trunk back here, and that blue box I got from my buddy Joe, who helped me captain our mountain bike race team back in the 80s and 90s. And all the cool stuff is from there. So I also have this takeoff Bontrager Evoque mountain saddle that I swapped out on a bike within the last few years. And a few of these parts. So leftover housing and stuff, this stuff adds up. If you try to cable up an entire bike, that gets expensive. So the other stuff is handlebar options, this Ritchie riser bar, and both of these have a 25.4 or 1 inch clamping diameter. So they work in the core stem, which is also 1 inch. They would work in this Soma stem if I decide I want more reach and less rise. They will not work in this shorty Bontrager stem, which takes a 31.8 diameter bar. So if the geometry tells me I need this, then I would have to go to a different bar. Old school clamping, quick release seat clamp. I'm not sure of the diameter of my seat tube on the Rocky Mountain frame, which is coming from Colorado. Rocky Mountains although Rocky Mountain is a Canadian brand. So that should please Maddie and Iggy and all of our other Canadian friends. So these are two different seat posts of different diameters. When you've owned a number of different mountain bikes over the years, you accumulate stuff and you always upgrade. The other bar option would be this 1x1 torsion bar by Nito, which I really enjoy. It just has a sweep, no rise, perfectly flat. So it all adds up to the geometry fitting just right. A couple of old school, just chrome alloy cages. And you might say, well, why don't you use something that's colored or whatever? Aha. Remember, I'm going with a patina paint job on this guy. So everything that appears to be chrome here or silver can always be changed. A pair of Odyssey pedals from way back when, which are in great shape, aluminum, and have the spikes on there and everything. I think they're going to be a great fit for this bike. Again, patinable, if that's a word. So, I'm getting some inspiration early on here. When I started looking around my shed the other day, I started seeing a lot of mountain bike stuff, including my Gary Fisher CR7, which I reconstructed, reinvented during Bow 13 a few years ago. And this Gary Fisher light, there we go, that I got as a going away present from my boss when our store changed hands and I began my retirement career. Lots of fun stuff in here, including a poster of Ruthie Mathis, a friend and pro rider who is not only in the Bicycling Hall of Fame, but she's also in the Mountain Bike Hall of Fame. Just a really great person and exceptional rider from the 80s. Anyway, that's what all got me going. Got a little disc brake stuff off of the Cruiser Cat, the Clunker Cat. My favorite Uri grips. These will likely go on. When you have mitts this size, you need something that's nice and large in circumference, and they're also cushy, just cushy enough to have that right feel. And I will be reinstating the use of my shock pump, which has been idle for the last couple of years because I've been without a mountain bike. So anyway, this was going to be a little brief introduction to the build, but again, it's gotten out of hand. So I am going to bid you adieu. Hope you're having a great day. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood here in the back 40. Have a good one. And as always, rat on.